My relationship with the United States is very interesting because my adolescent years were spent here, and you know how important 12 to 16 is for just a human being and to shape them. So I kind of became an amalgamation of the East and the West wherever I went after that. So when I came back to America, I was doing music. I was signed as a recording artist with Interscope, and I came in to do. I'm a fan of music. I love everything music. So I was having the best time of my life. But I'm also not someone who's entitled. I've always achieved everything that I have on my own. I did not have advisors. I started working when I was 17 years old. My parents were physicians. They had no idea of entertainment. My dad just loved music, but that's all we knew. And to navigate the business of entertainment and to navigate being a young girl, you know, in the big bad world of entertainment, and now with all the conversations that are happening, you guys know it's not the easiest thing. So, but I was never entitled. So when I came to America this time around, which was at like 27, 28, I was not afraid to walk into a room and introduce myself. A couple of times, many times through my career. My career now is about 18 years old, and I think when I first started, and I started with being Miss World. I won a beauty pageant, and then I had movie offers that came to me because obviously producers thought it made business sense to cast Miss World in a movie. People come and watch it. I don't know, I could act. But the first thing that came with that was, like, I still remember there was this, so Indian movies have songs and dances, right? So there was this one song in which, obviously I played the escort in the movie because that's what pretty girls do. But I was supposed to be this escort, and this song I was supposed to, like, you know, be like seductive towards this guy. And I was very excited about it. It was one of my first few movies with a really big, ginormous Indian actor. And I was really excited about, you know, bringing in the aspect, the human side of this escort. And I remember this song, and I was speaking to the director, and I said, would you speak to my stylist and just explain to him what you want in terms of clothes and stuff? I'm standing right next to him, like behind him. He's sitting on his chair, you know, in that really entitled way. And he picks up the phone and he goes, listen, people are going to come into the movies to watch her when she shows her panties. So it needs to be really short so that I can see her panties. You know, those people sitting up front, they should be able to see her panties. And he said it like 4 times. And it's not even pretty in Hindi. It's worse. And I'm 18 years old, 19, and I'd shot 2 days for that movie, I remember. And I went back home that night and I said, Mom, I can't look at his face. I mean, if that's what he thinks of me, if that's how small I am, there's no space for growth. And I remember my mom was like, well, then don't do it. I'd signed a contract, shot 2 days. The next day we signed a check, which was more than my remuneration at this point, of the 2 days of shoot to the producer. And I just walked out of the movie and I said, I'm sorry, I can't work. And I've till date never worked with him. He's come to me with 3 other movies. And I don't even think he knows why, but it shaped me in such a big way in my head that I said, I'm never, ever, whatever I decide to be will be my choice. How I want to be perceived will be my choice. How you perceive me is how I will show you I want to be. Perception is reality, and my perception is going to be my identity and my choice, whatever that might be. No one is the decision maker in my life, and it completely shaped me. There was a second time when I remember I started working in America, and I was sitting in this whole room of music producers that were trying to figure out like what to do with my sound, and everybody kept getting stuck at the word Bollywood with me, as if an Indian with me. She's an Indian artist, she's an Indian girl. Like every time somebody writes about me, even now, like people define me. I'm a very, very proud Indian, but my roots are not my identity. They don't define my ability to have merit, or to be the smartest person in the room, or to be the one who breaks the glass ceiling. It's something I'm proud of. But it started defining and diminishing what my ability to be was. I'm always written as the Indian actress, blah, 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 walked out of her apartment sashaying in the silver dress. but it's the Indian actress. I mean, would they do that with anyone else? Would you be the American Moira Forbes? Like, would you?
I'm not sashaying out of my apartment in any silver outfit like that. So
you know what I'm saying?
I would run toward that, but for different reasons. But it's true. But you do get bucketed, right?
I always got stereotyped and like put into that box that I can only be the exotic beautiful girl. I can only be the engineer or whatever the stereotypes of people's heads were. But that was something that I wanted to break, and that really diminished my spirit for a little while. I told myself that and I was not cast in things in projects because of that, because it was my limitation that I came from an industry which is very different. But I made that my asset, because then I become a triple threat. I can dance, sing, and act.
That is.
I think growing up was conflicted about feminism. I didn't understand what the word meant, like a lot of us don't still. It took me a little time to understand what it means. Now, feminism is different to everyone. To me, what feminism stands for is give me the ability to make my own decisions without judging me. Just the same kind of freedom men have had for such a long time. Women should sound like this. Women should wear this. Women at this point should get married. We're always told what we should do. We need to be able to decide what we should do, whatever that is. So to me, that freedom is feminism. Thank you. Second, I think that growing up, the one thing that looking back now, what I realized was, for such a long time, we've always been told as women that the best one will get the boy, or the best one will get the job. And we sort of have been conditioned to push each other out of the way so that we can be the better one. And if we empower another woman, right? If I empower a woman who's sitting next to me, I might lose the opportunity. It's conditioning. And we've been conditioned to be that way. This is the first time in a very long time, at least in my lifetime, that I have seen women embracing each other, women empowering each other, women standing up for each other. And that is such a critical time. When women fought before us, generations before us, for us to have the ability to vote, we don't even think about it today sitting in this room. Think about what all they went through. So what we're doing today is we're seeding the thought for your daughters, for my daughter's daughters, for kids who will not have to think about the gender disparity. They'll not have to think about like how it feels to be a woman who's marginalized, or what it feels like to be traumatized by men in power. They won't have to think about it, because we will create a world where men are afraid to do that. We will create a world together where we stand by each other and say, no, I'm sorry, you're not doing this to my daughter because you did it to me, and that's enough. And that is such a powerful time to be a woman.